The United States entered the 19th century as a young and ambitious nation, eager to expand its reach. However, beneath the surface, a deep divide was emerging. Rooted in slavery, this divide pitted North against South in a bitter struggle. Sectionalism was fueled by economic interests, political ideologies, and moral convictions. The North, with its growing industrial economy, viewed slavery as a moral blight. Conversely, the South relied on slavery for its agrarian economy. As the nation expanded westward, sectional tensions grew. The admission of new states became a flashpoint for conflict. The Constitution provided no easy answers, leaving the nation on the brink of crisis. In 1819, the issue of slavery exploded onto the national stage, shaking the young republic to its core. Missouri's bid for statehood ignited a firestorm of debate, revealing the deep chasm between North and South. At the heart of the crisis was whether Missouri would enter the Union as a slave state or a free state. The decision would set a precedent for the future of slavery in the vast Louisiana Purchase territory. As the Missouri crisis threatened to engulf the nation in flames of disunion, one man emerged from the cauldron of sectional strife, determined to forge a path to peace and preserve the fragile bonds holding the nation together. Henry Clay, a Kentucky senator renowned for his eloquence, his political acumen, and his unwavering commitment to compromise, would come to be known as the Great Compromiser for his pivotal role in diffusing the Missouri crisis and averting the specter of disunion. Clay, a slave owner himself, understood the deep anxieties and conflicting interests that fueled the sectional divide. He recognized that a solution to the Missouri crisis could not be found in moral absolutes or uncompromising positions, but in the messy and often unsatisfying realm of political compromise. With the nation teetering on the brink, Clay threw himself into the fray, tirelessly working to build bridges between the warring factions. He understood that any lasting solution must address both the immediate concerns over Missouri's statehood and the broader question of slavery's expansion. He engaged in countless hours of closed-door negotiations, cajoling, persuading, and threatening in equal measure, seeking to find a middle ground that could satisfy both sides, or at least prevent either side from taking actions that would lead to the nation's dissolution. His efforts, though fraught with difficulty and met with resistance from both sides, ultimately proved successful in forging a compromise that, while far from perfect, held the potential to preserve the Union. Section 4. The Provisions of Compromise, a Delicate Balance. The Missouri Compromise, a testament to Henry Clay's political skill and the desperate desire for unity that still bound the nation together, consisted of a series of carefully crafted provisions designed to maintain the delicate balance between free and slave states. The compromise, passed by Congress in March of 1820, admitted Missouri to the Union as a slave state, a concession to the South that preserved their power in the Senate. To appease the North, Maine, which had been part of Massachusetts, was admitted as a free state. This simultaneous admission of a free state and a slave state maintained the existing balance of power in the Senate, ensuring that neither side gained a legislative advantage on the issue of slavery. The Missouri Compromise, however, went beyond simply addressing the immediate question of Missouri's statehood. It also sought to establish a framework for the future admission of states from the vast Louisiana Territory, a region larger than the existing United States at the time. This element of the compromise, while seemingly straightforward, would have far-reaching and ultimately disastrous consequences for the future of the nation. Section 5. The 36° 30 parallel, drawing a line in the sand. The most enduring and ultimately problematic element of the Missouri Compromise was the establishment of the 36° 30 parallel as the dividing line for slavery in the Louisiana Territory. This line, stretching westward from the southern border of Missouri, effectively barred the expansion of slavery north of this boundary, with the exception of Missouri itself. The establishment of the 36° 30 parallel was a significant victory for the North, at least in the short term. It prevented the expansion of slavery into the vast majority of the Louisiana Territory, ensuring that future states carved from this region would be free states. The South, while accepting the 36-30 provision as part of the compromise, did so with a sense of unease and resentment. Many Southerners viewed the restriction of slavery as a dangerous precedent, a sign that the North was not willing to accept the permanence of slavery within the Union. The 36-30 parallel, once seen as a potential solution to the sectional crisis, would instead become a stark symbol of the nation's deep divisions, a line drawn in the sand that would ultimately be washed away in the tide of sectional conflict. Section 6. A temporary truce. Seeds of discontent remain. The Missouri Compromise, while hailed by some as a victory for reason and compromise, proved to be nothing more than a temporary truce in the escalating battle over slavery. It had succeeded in calming the immediate crisis, but it did little to address the underlying issues that fueled the sectional divide. Indeed, in many ways, the compromise only served to exacerbate existing tensions by codifying the nation's divisions over slavery into law, and by solidifying the belief among many in both the North and the South that their interests and values were fundamentally incompatible. The compromise, by its very nature, had left both sides with a sense of grievance and resentment. The North, though pleased with the restriction of slavery north of the 36-30 parallel, chafed at the admission of Missouri as a slave state and the continued existence of slavery within the Union. The South, for its part, resented the restriction on slavery's expansion and viewed the compromise as a dangerous concession to Northern abolitionist sentiment. The seeds of discontent, sown in the fertile ground of sectional animosity, continued to germinate, threatening to erupt with renewed fury in the decades to come. To the intractable problem of slavery.